Alright, hey, hi, hello, how's it going guys? My name is ZetaRayZod and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. So, in the previous episode we found out that Hosonaga, which was the head waiter, if you recall, he drew the map, the layout of the restaurant on his business card and he gave it to the judge. We found out that he was actually a undercover detective. So that was a bit sus, and it turns out that they were hiding someone that was there. It was a British woman, a student if I'm not mistaken, and they hid her. They kind of like, the head honchos told Hosonaga to hide her, to hide her presence from the place, which is wrong, because she could have been like the prime suspect. So when the judge found out, he kind of told Hosonaga to find her. So that's where we are right now. We are just after the recess. Excellent work, Ryonosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You're drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimony. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. That's true. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There's a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? Might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yeah, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. More focus on the gun? I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. He just keeps repeating himself, huh? I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. But just after I bent down and picked it up. Bang. Bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me to some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended the suspect without a moment's delay. Yeah, and because I was shut in the pantry with a gun, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Hold on, both of you. Oh, it's probably... yeah. Professor Mikotoba. Well, seems I was right. Pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yeah, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. Ooh, what if they send me instead? I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you feel that way. They're gonna send me, aren't they? Kazuma! Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, you said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't you? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Dun dun dun! Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, we're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. But, best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. I thought she was a daughter. Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what to hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. Before? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Is he gonna die? Like, oh, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind, forget it. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. He says this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. Cool. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria at University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Ha ha ha! Alright, buddy. 22nd November. I mean, it's gotta be her, right? She's the only one left. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
It's not my fault you're doing a shit job. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. Yeah, damn straight. If you did your job properly, you wouldn't be in this relation. You wouldn't be in this problem.
It's highly unlikely that good relations we forged with great men will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think there's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down at our nation founders?
Flounders, I think he means. I think founders. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Very true. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryonosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in.
Oh, wipe.
By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert, just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Wow. The judge is like, whoa. Well said, Ryonosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats.
Thank you, counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, the trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes.
Your Excellency! Good dick. Wow. Over the top. Look, what the? Why is she looking at us? Why is Hosonaga there?
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such fine gentlewomen to Japan and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussion takes place about tea. Is that true? No idea.
So,
He's such a kiss ass.
could we possibly treat you to state your name, trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. Of course. My name's Satoru Hosonaga. Not you. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but my true...
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Did I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryonosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
What the frick? She's speaking English. That's why it's gibberish right now. Everybody's like, what? She doesn't speak Japanese?
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Yeah, she needs a translator. The lady says her name is Giselle Brent. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yuma University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones and the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it's beautiful as a hummingbird song.
Can you even hear hummingbirds? As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yeah, I agree. Haha. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Or you? You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryonosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Just nod your freaking head, lady. She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? Yeah, she's probably faking it. She is, isn't she? Because the first time Aochi asked her for her name, she answered. Hosonaga didn't translate for her in the beginning. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. How suspicious is that? Like, a murder just took place and she's more focused on a presentation at a university? That's bullshit. Interesting. And you're the one who engineered her escape. Now she's following special orders from the bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator perhaps?
She understands Japanese, Hosonaga didn't even translate. Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. I call bullshit, man. Like, why would you leave for a presentation immediately after you're like, someone across from you got murdered? That's bullshit.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
This guy is such full of shit, man. Your first two witnesses were apparently conclusive and they're full of shit too. Well, looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. What? Kazuma stabs me. Fortunately, I'll have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. I have a feeling like this judge is a bit more competent than the previous one. Because the previous one, the guy was just agreeing with everything the prosecution was saying, but this guy is more like, you know? He's like in the middle. He's more neutral. Why are you hiding your face, though? Frightening and sorrowful sight. Here we go. Oh boy. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only, a beef steak. So far so good, I think. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. If we had gotten into the fierce argument, wouldn't the two guys have noticed? I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a condemning testimony indeed. This judge is not competent at all. I take that back. I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. Yigiari.
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. Look at the Snow White Angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court's gonna believe.
Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. He is damn annoying. Of course, at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. We decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. Testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I don't think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. I was just gonna say that. Unless and until the precise location where the witnesses to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun, and you don't carry a purse around? That seems a bit sus. Those are the witnesses' own words on the matter. Ugh! It's ridiculous! If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Oh my god. Just keep that to yourself. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But you fired the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. Right about that. Which means this lady was hiding guns somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Oh. She's so guilty. Defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Give me a quick mo. What I want to do is I want to look at my records. Do I have anything that can prove? I don't think I have. Yep, I don't have anything. Okay, let's just... I arranged to meet for slightly late lunch with Dr. Wilson that day. Let's press everything. Because we might get something. After 2 p.m. in fact, that's really quite late lunches, isn't it?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are en vogue, isn't that right?
No. Lol. Haha, ouchie. Decisive English no has quite a sting to it. Gentlewoman's currently working the victim's research laboratory, it seems, so it's apparently a daily occurrence that they will lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yeah, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
Okay. I can't remember the word for this, but I'll think about it. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Professor's unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hada Clinic, correct? I feel like you shouldn't lead. This is leading the witness. That's right. I feel like you shouldn't say that, dude. Ah, you're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Bright aware of the fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I'll crush the evil fiend that subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. First was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. That can't be right. What do you think, Ryanosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's very meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? You don't know, do you? The significance of this statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I can really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryanosuke. I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Let's present this. Because the picture only has one glass. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That's correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. They really do a good job making Aochi like a pissant. Ugh. Ryanosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah. You're quite right, counsel. There's only 1 glass picture here. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on this case? Minutiae, you say? Minutiae? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. Good. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you gonna try and tell me you can clink if only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Why? What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I've been there at all. She's saying. That's tampering of evidence. Sorry.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes.
Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in a state of disarray? That is absurd. Like, if a dinner companion got murdered, the first thing in your mind is that your friend got murdered, not that you hide the fact that you were there. Why would you do that?
Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. She has so many holes! She said she can't carry it. How can she carry a gun? She can carry a gun in her freaking handbag! And Aochi's being a dumbass, like, oh, flying over his head. Beautiful ladies very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered satisfactory explanations to why she removed this glass. No, it doesn't, Judge. I think henceforth we consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know, really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're gonna need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the handbag. It's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlemen carry handbags for small items. It has not. It has not been explained. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he then fired that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. Yeah, sweat, Aoji, sweat.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Damn straight. Order! Order, order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Aochi?
Why on earth did she not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
They're both incompetent. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Cough away, fool. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. Yeah, we don't. No clue at all. We didn't even search a bag. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. It's photographic print. The print is a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. I'm more curious about the thing on his hand. Is that a bull? As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So their contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there's no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Critical hit. Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you'll submit that print as evidence at once. You can't just simply submit evidence willy-nilly. You gotta do it before. Hold up, I'm gonna look at that. Ah, come on. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. Hold up. Uh-huh. Interesting. I'm not sure how this is relevant though, but it seems to me like what's going on right now is that based on the handprint, the bull print on his right hand, and based on where the beefsteak is sitting, it would seem that it was him who's eating the steak. Because he had the bird mark. Huh. Okay, this might come in handy later. Oh, man. Court has now been shown considerable evidence. You have not been shown anything. You had statements. As the photographic picture submitted to the court record appears to have no further significance, I'm satisfied that there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryonosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat while the strong eat. I'm gonna punch you in the face when I get the chance. Wasting your time. There's no way to demand true justice. Or in fact, you could chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really gonna be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which you can argue for the trial to continue. Yes, there is. Come on, give me a chance. Very well, now proceed immediately to the ruling. Seems we'll be able to report to British government on time after all. That smug little Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Having considered all the... Oh. Nani? Whoa. Wait, Your Excellency. Ryonosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet. This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic picture submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, and ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question. This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman is carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could just put my finger on it. Very well, I'll grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I'm unsatisfied, I'll beat you to death with my mullet. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosanaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. It's over here. Wait, what? Here. Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description. Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a bird mark. Right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Yes, we do. Can I present my evidence? The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Aoichi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. Of course, His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. Oh, God, this guy's dumb too. What if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over? So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. I do have something useful. Just let me put it in my record. I am? If you could just link that burn to the case. If you can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again. Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence? Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I had noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. I have it, dude. Just let me talk. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will not present its evidence to the court. Yep. Inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Yep, it would be this. What's this, counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this outer photograph. how did the victim come to have an unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burns? Over here, dipshit. The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Oh.
Oh! Ecstasy? Are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ah!
Yonosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. Couldn't have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well, Sadly, Prosecutor Aochi, chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Freak out, fool. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. So this was done after you got shot. What are you suggesting? Well, the professor carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds a day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Aochi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Kurosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? Never dreamt we would arrive at a conclusion like this, but... I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man can remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible. The man was already dead.
Oh, already dead?
Okay, you know what? I think we'll leave this at a cliffhanger. I think we're getting closer and closer to the truth. I'm not sure where this is going, to be honest. All I can see from this is that the plate was on his end, and that's it. But in terms of whether she's guilty or not, if there's any evidence pointing towards her, I don't see it right now. But maybe we'll find out in the next episode. So yeah, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace!